So, I graduated from university today. I've only been an adult for 4 years now, which makes me feel like an adult toddler. College is like pre-K, prepping you for the real world. It isn't always necessary, but it can be beneficial for some people. Still, I don't feel like I have everything figured out yet, even with a fancy degree. In this video, I want to talk about graduating and growing up. Reflecting on my own journey made me wonder how others navigate this transition, so I decided to ask some of my friends directly. One of my icebreaker questions, I wanted everyone to do their best JoJo Siwa impression. But just to make me happy. Dream guest on my podcast! Let's spice things up. One of my exes. Karma's oh, Karma's a bitch. I should've known better. Oh, let's go. If you had to guess, how many times would you say someone's asked you, so what are you gonna do with your degree?
I have a story about that. I was on a plane from Washington to California, and this lady was really talkative. I told her I was a major in film, and she told me I needed a backup plan because she was like, well, that's hard. I get that question a lot. Not only because people are like, oh, like, what are you gonna do like after you graduate, but because like genuinely, like with a film major, people are like, what are you doing?
Maybe like a dozen times.
Probably enough that I could be a billionaire maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Beyonce's network would not touch me, that's all I know.
I do get it often, more than I'd like, but
I get it a lot, especially being communications degree. They're like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like
Yeah.
what are you gonna do with that? It's like, what are you gonna do with that?
As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up, and how does that compare to your current aspirations and major?
I think I did want to be a vet. I wanted to work with animals or with kids, and I'm now a teacher, so I guess it kind of went in that route.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a vet. I think it was just because a lot of our kids shows involved animals, like the Berenstain Bears and like Oswald, but I have always done like creative stuff. Even as a kid, I just didn't know I could make a career out of it. But as soon as I learned that, like my junior year of high school, I finally realized like I actually don't want to do anything in medicine. I want to make films for a living. Kaylani Riley, go to my YouTube channel. I just came out with my first ever short film.
I wanted to be a princess. I'd want to be like a doctor one day or an astronaut the next. We can dream. One thing that stayed consistent though is like being exposed to STEM. Woman in STEM is such like a power move, you know? Like, that girl's smart. Yeah. Especially when I'm introducing myself next to Jasmine, because then they're like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, a teacher, and then they're like, oh, what are you studying? Chemical engineering. And they're like, whoa!
Well, I wanted to be a princess. We're still waiting on that. I wanted to be a doctor, but then got into biomed. By the time I got to number 3, I was like, this isn't for me. I was like, let me go back to communications, and I like it here.
How do you deal with the pressure of finding the right job or career path? And could you confidently tell me what you want to do for the rest of your life?
What is that?
What?
It's just part of the branch. Sorry, I got scared. I don't think I have like a confident answer on what I want to do for the rest of my life. I just want to explore so many different careers. And there still is a pressure because even like working in a district, like other teachers are like, I've been here for 30 years and it's like, oh, maybe I should like settle down in a school or something, and I don't really want to do that. The pressure is pretty intense as of like right now because everyone at this point in college, at least, like they're doing internships and they're already like finding jobs. But for me, I'm still just taking classes, no internships. With anything related to STEM, it just seems like it's pretty hard to get a job. That kind of discourages me a little bit, puts a lot of pressure on me. I'm pretty passionate about specifically being like a cosmetic chemist for the rest of my life. Yes, my lab rats. My skin breaks out. Jasmine.
No matter what, at the end of the day, I've come a long way. Everybody's journey is different. I've never had a job before, so now I have to intern, get experience. I'm like a couple years behind. My path is my path.
Yeah.
Their path is their path. Queen is never early, everybody's just... No, Queen is never late, everybody's just fashionably early.
Exactly.
Spread the wealth, gain more knowledge, have my own businesses, be able to sit down and be a housewife, and if I want to go back to school, my man's gonna pay for that. That's where the princess lifestyle comes in. Yeah, so like I said, we're not there yet.
I just try to like be inspired by the people around me versus comparing myself to the people around me, and that helps me stay motivated to like look for opportunities in the future, because I feel like it's easy to look at what other people are doing and like, oh, like that person just got like an internship at Disney, like why haven't I got an internship at Disney, instead of actually like taking my own experiences and like creating my own path. I also have a spreadsheet of like every opportunity I've applied to. Even if I get rejected, I can look back and be like, wow, like I'm still trying, I'm still applying to like all of these jobs, like regardless of whether it ends up being good or not, like I can still be proud of myself because I know that I'm giving myself like the best chance that I can. I want to be a screenwriter. I like being the person that has the pen. I love like bonding with my characters and giving them a chance to exist on a piece of paper and then eventually translate that to the screen. And people are talking about, oh, like I feel bad for this character, like this character made me sad, and it's like they're not real, but like they become real somehow. And like I want to do that for the rest of my life.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in college? And how do you feel about graduating college? Is there a mix of fear or excitement?
Transitioning from like school to working full time, like for the rest of your life, that's kind of what scares me the most. Going to office hours, reaching out to your professors and TAs for help, even like your peers, just don't be afraid to like reach out.
Not use all the freedom I have. It's just a different type of like responsibility you have being your own adult. You have no one forcing you to do anything. I would go back and be on my P's and Q's, but I don't know, if I was on my P's and Q's, I probably would have never met you.
Fat gal would have never.
Fat gal abduction would have never happened.
I don't know where to go, what's the right key, I want my own. Okay.
Probably a little bit of both. Dang, like what am I gonna do with my degree? Like, am I just gonna be a motherfucker with a degree that don't use it? Like, where am I going? What am I doing? Like, do I have to hurry up and get into like a job? Do I have to get my career together tomorrow? Should my career have been set yesterday? Do I need to start my 401k?
I wouldn't have been so hard on myself. I feel like you come to college and there's like so much pressure and you have to get everything done. And you have to be like perfect and have like all the friends and join all the clubs. And it's like, actually no, like you're still human, you know, like we were coming out of the pandemic too. And like even that transition was really difficult. And I just wish I would have given myself more grace and just been open to like enjoying my experiences instead of being so like hard on myself. Definitely a mix of both for me, you know, like I think I'm afraid because America. just that's it. Nepotism, which I do not have the privilege of experiencing, nor do I want to experience it. But it's just like it's really hard to like get into my profession, and people are working multiple jobs and are not able to make a living. I don't want to be pessimistic, but that's just the current state of a lot of young adults right now. I feel good about graduating. I feel happy and excited, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I mean, it's a big deal. Just because like people don't hire us doesn't mean that like getting a bachelor's degree is not a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a huge accomplishment, and I'm excited.
Something I would have done differently is like join clubs and go to extracurricular events. I didn't really have that opportunity, so if I did, I feel like I would have. Last year when I did graduate, I was definitely feeling a mixture of both. Transitioning into like working in your career for until you're like 60 and can retire is so daunting, and even now as a first year teacher, like I have to do this forever is scary.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your freshman self about navigating college and defining success?
Success is not being the best. Success is continuing to progress. Success is literally like, the word I would use is epitome of the movie Robots. Like success is really what you make it.
Because it was like during the pandemic and everything was online, I felt so discouraged to do anything. I would say to my freshman year self to just enjoy that new experience rather than compare it to like what could have been. ASMR.
I would say, you know, Kaylani, listen, like you have your own definition of success. Don't let other people try to tell you what success is like, because you know the things that you've been through. You know all that it's taken for you to get to this point, you know, not trying to be like everybody else, because I just can't be like everybody else, and really honoring my past and like honoring who I am and like who I've developed into, and not trying to like tell myself that I need to change just because what other people say. is success.
Just standing up for yourself and participating in the classes. Just because you're the youngest one there doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. Success is not linear. It's very up and down. There's just different ways to be successful, and it's really a mindset.
Are there any aspects of adulting you feel unprepared for?
Anything insurance related. Don't talk to me about insurance. I feel really unprepared for that. Working a 9 to 5. I don't want to do that. I understand that that might be the first step, but that can't be the last. I don't think I'm ready for like everybody else to be in my ear to tell me like where I should be, you know, like that's gonna really get on my nerves.
In every stage of life, you're still preparing for adulthood. I feel like I'm gonna be always unprepared for adulthood. Like, how do you prepare for something that you don't know? You can prepare your mindset, like, I'm open to learning, but I'm never gonna be prepared for life.
Adulthood. Can't really prepare for it, honestly. Yeah. Just live out those experiences, in my opinion.
Bills and just like making sure you're on top of all your stuff, and like adulting now is like, okay, we can go out Friday, but can we go out Saturday too? Yeah. Like, you know, like what you gotta like really pick your poison.
Do you think going to college was worth it? Has it shaped your dreams or outlook on life in any way?
You can still be successful without going to college. My goal, you kind of have to go to college for that, so that's why I'm taking the path I'm in.
I feel like college was worth it for me. It does take a lot of time and dedication. It's not for everybody. Some people are not interested in going to college, and I feel like that's totally fine. I don't know if it changed my outlook on my dreams because I didn't really have one set dream. Like, I just went into college for this and I was like, oh, I can do that. But it was not like I have to be a teacher. As of right now, I feel pretty confident in where I'm at.
I definitely think college was worth it. I never really got to graduate high school. I was robbed. Like, I was robbed of prom. I was robbed of walking properly. Like, senior skip day. The skip day, we had 2 years to skip. I'm so like used to just like, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm gonna stay. I don't like change. But we're learning to adapt to change a lot more on a swivel, making new friends. Like Tara right here, my new friend.
Tara, congratulations! You did it! You did it, Tara!
Going to college was not only worth it, but it was necessary for me. I got to learn so much about filmmaking, and I got to learn so much about myself. Having a degree is awesome, and I'm so excited and proud of that too. I highly recommend, if you're able to, go to college.
A question you should have done for people is, what's your senior quote?
Did we have one?
Bonus question.
What would your senior quote be?
My dreams are to get rich, stunt on you, and with your father and make you my son.
Oh, wow! To go along the theme of just being okay with being on your own path, there's a song by J. Cole called Love Yours. I have it tattooed, the title tattooed on my arm, and my senior quote would be, no such thing as a life that's better than yours. Just having the gratitude and like not being stuck in like comparison and stuff, and it's really about like the people that you're surrounded with. That's what college has taught me. If you have yet to go to college, or you're on your way to college, or you're in college, or you graduated college, just keep living life. Find people that love you, because they do love you, and stick with those people, and be open to new experiences. This is on video, but this channel is gonna grow, and I hope that everyone watching just stays blessed.
There is a lot of fear when it comes to growing up or not feeling good enough, and the pressure of making your family proud, especially as a first gen. There's also the anxiety of figuring out what you want to do for the rest of your life. And clearly, none of us have it all figured out, and that makes me feel better. When I was a kid, one of my biggest dreams was to become a successful YouTuber. And I know everybody's gonna have an opinion, okay? Some might say that my degree in communications is useless, and some might say that my dream of being a full-time YouTuber is unrealistic and that I should just grow up. But you know what I say? Gives a damn? I'm tired of letting society dictate who we should be or what job we should pursue. I'm proud of my degree. I know my worth. I believe in myself, and I deserve to go after what it is that I want, and so do you. You don't need to have it all figured out in order to pursue your dreams. Just start and let life guide you along the way. Embrace the uncertainty ahead, even though it's scary. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, prove it by giving it a thumbs up, and leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts thoughts on graduating and growing up. Also, check out this video next if you want to hear me yap some more. Bye!
Shout out my best friend. Shout out my best friend, my mom. Shout out my sisters, Jacob, Linda. Shout out to my dad, I guess. Shout out my besties up in Seattle. Shout out my bestie right here to the right of me, real hitter, real 1 2 1 2 big guys one thing. Shout out Arsh. Shout out Fat Girl Productions.
Shout out UW. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Yeah, go Husky.
Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.